Pisces Zodiac, February 2026. February month prediction. Health. This month the augury from the stars is quite favorable for your health. However, there is a note of caution to be sounded to warn you against overexertion. This must be avoided because if neglected the problems could somewhat into one massive health problems. You should set about the task of drawing out a schedule of activity which does not unduly strain your system. Having done this, you must stick to such a schedule firmly. This is in fact the solution to most of your problems. There is the further likelihood of some trouble from bouts of muscular cramps. This would, however, be quite brief. A beneficial month, where you do not have any serious worry. Finance. The combination of stars facing you would bring a great deal of cheer to your financial prospects this month. Some of you would have a way of managing your subordinates, workers, or just simply people below you in the social strata, in a manner enabling you to derive optimum benefit from their services. This would be a big gain. Further, there is every likelihood of a big boon coming your way from some elderly gentleman. Other sudden though unexpected gains can also not be ruled out. The climate would also be quite congenial for investment and new ventures. Profession. Nothing particularly helpful in the augury from the stars this month insofar as your professional prospects are concerned. You will have to guard against serious differences with your colleagues, of which there is a distinct likelihood. As far as possible, try and foresee difficult spots and steer a course away from them. There would also be a good deal of travel, which would appear to be a pointless exercise bearing no fruit. There is further the likelihood of some of you being tempted to operate outside the law for quick profits. Such tendencies should be firmly curbed, failing which you would have only yourself to blame for the disastrous consequences that are bound to follow. Education. Nothing very encouraging about the augury from the stars insofar as your educational prospects are concerned. Most of you would lack the drive and motivation necessary to get to the top. This would take away the decisive competitive edge from your efforts. Therefore, those sitting for any competitive examination should go in for special coaching, since this could well be the deciding factor for success. Further, some of you may be adversely influenced in a manner that would make you self-assertive and headstrong with your teachers and seniors. You must guard against such tendencies. Travel. A month during which the prospect of gains from travel are from bright, since the augury from the stars is not very helpful. Your job or business would require that you undertake a fair amount of travel. These efforts, however, would not be very rewarding since the turn of events would be unfavorable. You would travel alone and almost entirely by road and by rail. The most favorable direction would be east, though this month gains for this too would not measure up to expectations. Further, there is a likelihood of an injury on some other sojourns. Take precautions and minimize risk. Family. Nothing particularly beneficial about the augury from the stars this month so far as your family welfare is concerned. Some of you would develop serious tensions in your relations with your brothers. You must remain patient and refuse to get provoked into any sort of a confrontation. Further, you must curb any tendency towards groundless suspicions, for this can bring your relations with your spouse to a point of no return. Discipline yourself in a manner so as to inoculate a tolerant and open frame of mind. Children, too, would add to your worries. Their performance in studies and games, etc., may not be up to the mark. Supervise their activities carefully and much more closely. Children. Nothing particularly beneficial about the augury from the stars this month insofar as your children's prospects are concerned. The behavior of the wards of most of you would leave much to be desired. Those who are prone to disregarding instructions may get into fights with their brother. Parents should deal with this very firmly. Nor would any of them do too well at studies. Those sitting for competitive examinations should go in for extra coaching. The saving grace of the month could be the fine performance of at least some of them. God bless you. God bless you.